Hello, Creative Gems. Welcome back to Creativity. And if you're new here, my name is Sandy, and I'm very glad you made it here. In today's craft project, we're going to create a beautiful 3D textures wall art piece on canvas. And all the materials used today will be listed in the description box. I have a bucket here, and we just poured about 1 cup cold water into the bucket. And then I'm adding an equal part of Mod Podge to it. The Mod Podge I chose is the gloss version, but if you prefer matte, you could choose that as well. Mix the water and Mod Podge up until you have a milky consistency, and if you need more Mod Podge to thicken it up, you can add more. Once you have your mixture, set it aside while we prepare our canvas. Here I have a 5-pack canvas set, and I want to give a quick shout out to TCP Global for gifting me this set. For today's wall art, I will be using the 18 by 24 inch canvas, which is the largest one in the set. And in the rest of the pack, we also have 4 other sized canvases, with the smallest one coming in at 5 by 7 inches. These are all 100% cotton canvases stretched by hand, and they all come with a sturdy wood frame. To create the 3D texture effect, a lot of people tend to turn to plaster or spackle, but I'm going to do something different today. We're going to use an old cotton pillowcase. This pillowcase must be over 20 years old, and it used to be white, but as you can see here, it's pretty faded and it's gotten quite thin after years of washing. But this actually will be perfect for our art piece today. The first thing I'm going to do is cut the pillowcase down each side to open it up so we have more fabric to work with. And if you don't happen to have a spare pillowcase, you can grab one from the Dollar Tree or maybe find an old bed sheet that you no longer need. Next, we're going to dunk the entire pillowcase into our bucket of Mod Podge and water mixture. For this part, you may want to use some gloves to keep your hands clean and dry. Make sure the pillowcase is entirely soaked through. We don't want any dry spots. Once the pillowcase is soaked through, lift it up and squeeze out the excess liquid so it's not dripping all over the place. Then take it out of the buckets, stretch it out, and place it onto the canvas. You can drape the pillowcase over the canvas however you want. Here I'm shaping the creases of the pillowcase. I'm actually being intentionally unintentional about the creases while making it look as natural as possible. Occasionally, I'm going to go back into the bucket of Mod Podge water mixture to add more to the pillowcase to help me with shaping the creases and folds. Any guesses what I'm turning the pillowcase into? Comment down below and let me know what you think. There's really no right or wrong answer for this art piece, although I do have something in mind. But let me know in the comments what you are seeing. Once you're happy with the folds and creases, let the whole thing dry and harden overnight. It's the next day for me now, and the Mod Podge has dried, but it has not hardened enough, so I'm actually going back in with a paintbrush to brush on more Mod Podge. This time, I'm not mixing any water into the Mod Podge to encourage the hardening of the pillowcase. You can see how pliable the pillowcase still is, and I can use my paintbrush to move the creases. I'm getting into all the nooks and crannies to make sure there's Mod Podge applied to the entire pillowcase. Once that's done, we'll need to wait another night again for the whole thing to dry. Or if you have a portable hair dryer handy, you may be able to speed up the drying time. We're back with our canvas with a cotton pillowcase draped over it. The Mod Podge has dried and the pillowcase has hardened enough for us to move on to the next step. We're going to flip our canvas around so the back is facing up. There's quite a lot of excess fabric hanging off the side, so I'm just going to cut the excess off from each side. But make sure you leave just enough fabric so you can staple it down to the wood frame. And you'll notice that when I was shaping the creases and folds, I continued the creases and folds down the sides of the canvas. That was intentional since I really want to carry on the 3D effect from all angles of the art piece. Here you can see I'm using a staple gun to secure the fabric onto the wood frame. And guess what? This is actually my first time using a staple gun. For some reason, it was a little intimidating for me, even though I have used power tools before. I think the thought of stapling my fingers was freaking me out. So if you guys don't have a staple gun or you would rather not use one, don't worry. You should be able to use hot glue to hot glue the fabric to the wood frame without any issues. Just make sure you let the hot glue get really hot and use gloves so you don't burn yourself. And now we're going to go back in with a small foam brush gifted by TCB Global, and we're going to paint the entire canvas a bright white. I like these foam brushes because of the wooden handle, which is easy and comfortable to grip, unlike other foam brushes with a plastic handle. Also, the foam on these brushes is firm enough that I can use the tips to get into those crevices where it's normally hard to paint. We have a lot of creases in our pillowcase, so I want to make sure that the entire surface, including the creases, are painted white. These foam brushes will also allow me to work quickly without worrying about ruining the brushes like I normally would if I were using regular paintbrushes with hair bristles. And while we paint this piece, I would like to take a moment to thank you for tuning into today's craft project. If you enjoy glam home decor and DIY crafts on a budget, please hit that subscribe button to help me grow my channel. And if you liked what you see today, please give me a thumbs up as well. Your support will really help me continue providing you with more amazing and creative craft tutorials. And the best part is, subscribing and giving me a thumbs up is absolutely free, but will make a world of difference to me and my channel. One thing I didn't mention earlier is that since we're painting our fabric, it really doesn't matter what color the fabric is. Mine happened to be off-white, but if yours is a darker color, you can still use it for this art piece. Just make sure you use a good quality paint or even primer as your first coat if you want to cover up the original color of your fabric. And in fact, you don't even need to paint yours white. You can paint it whatever color you prefer, any color that matches your home decor. Any guesses yet on what this piece is going to be of? Take a look at how the fabric is draped over this canvas and let me know if it reminds you of anything you may have seen before. Okay, we're back now and the paint has fully dried, and I'm happy to say that the three foam brushes is all I needed to paint this piece with. And not only that, but the foam brushes didn't disintegrate and fall apart like some other brands I have used. The last step is to go back in with more gloss Mod Podge so we can sprinkle both white and silver glitter over portions of the fabric and canvas. You only need to brush on the Mod Podge where you want the glitter to fall on. And while we work on that, I would love to know where you are all tuning in from. I know many of you are from America, so let me know which state you are watching this video from. And if you're from outside of America, comment down below and let me know which country you are from. Feel free to message me in your native language. Besides English, I can get by with basic French and Spanish as well. And if I ever get stuck, my friend Google will help translate for me. I'll even reply back to you in your preferred language. So feel free to drop me a note to say hi and let me know where you're tuning in from. Okay, now with the Mod Podge applied, we're starting with the white glitter and I'm covering the entire canvas, making sure that the glitter falls evenly across the canvas. It's just going to be a light dusting of the white glitter, just enough that when the light hits it, you'll see it shimmer. Any guesses yet what this piece is? Let me know down in the comment section what you think. Here I'm spraying a bit of water onto the exposed canvas before applying more white glitter. And here's what our piece looks like so far. See how the white glitter actually shimmers as the light bounces against the canvas? And the water I sprayed has also added more texture to the piece. And I'm not actually sure if the camera is picking it up, but the glitter is really sparkling and it's the exact effect I was hoping for. And now I'm going to go back in to brush another layer of Mod Podge to prime the canvas for the silver glitter. And with the silver glitter, I'm actually going to target mainly the edges of the pillowcase, as well as parts of the painted canvas that doesn't have the pillowcase. Where we have deeper folds and creases in the pillowcase, I'm also going to sprinkle more glitter to emphasize the folds and the shadows that it creates. I'm also going to go back in with a paintbrush and stipple in more Mod Podge onto the canvas where I want a little extra silver glitter. Any guesses yet what we're creating here? Let me know in the comments. Any guesses? And here's the final 3D textured wall art on our 18 by 24-inch stretched canvas. Everything has dried perfectly, and I'm very pleased with how it turned out. I have this hung vertically, but you could also hang it horizontally. The light bounces off the white and silver glitter on the canvas, giving a beautiful shimmer. The gloss finish from the Mod Podge also gives the depth to the piece. With layers of fabric, Mod Podge, water, paint, and glitter, I'm going to name this piece Diamonds in the Snow. Did any of you guess this? It's supposed to represent the side of a windy mountain that is experiencing its first snowfall. Comment down below with the word snowy mountain and let me know what you think of this 3D textured wall art. I would be curious if you would try making a similar piece as well. In the meantime, I hope you stick around and check out some of my other DIY home decor ideas.